ready.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Christian, and my business is called CJ Pixel. I'm a web developer who specializes in WordPress with a focus on building websites for those who treat and those who cure. So today's presentation is called The Ultimate Solution for a Therapist Website, which brings the question, why therapists? Muhammad, peace be upon him, once said that the best of people are those who bring the most benefit to the rest of mankind. So with that wisdom in mind, I thought focusing on helping people who help people would be the most fruitful way to go with my web development services. During this journey, I found that a lot of the websites for these therapists were of a particularly poor standard, often because they've tried to do the websites themselves using platforms like Wix and Squarespace, often leading to the following issues. Inquiry forms which don't deliver, so they never even get notified when somebody's inquiring. They have very poor responsiveness across different devices. So when people are looking at the website on desktop tablets or mobiles, doesn't look consistently good, and the style sometimes breaks. They have improper email setup, which leads to security vulnerabilities. They have a bad user interface, which makes it a really bad user experience. And the irony is that they have chosen this route quite often to save money, but in the end, they get caught with all of these additional charges that they didn't anticipate. And when things go wrong with a website, they have little support and don't know what to do. So using my experience over the years with such clients, I recently came up with a new mission for CJ Pixel. To make it simple for therapists to get online and grow their practice with an all-in-one website and booking system. So with this in mind, I've consolidated my services into simple yet comprehensive packages, which take my client's website from an underwhelming and frustrating user experience to a refreshingly seamless and professional one, all without breaking the bank. So you see, with a lot of my clients being self-employed, it can feel hard to ever justify the kind of costs that websites can often be, which is why I created the following packages. At the moment, I offer these three, which all provide the same quality of website, but with a different number of features. So the most basic one is a simple single-page website with a contact form. The next is a multi-page website, typically with pages for home, about, services, and contact. And then the last one, which offers the same as a multi-page website, but has a booking system set up within it. All of these packages offer total peace of mind for things like domain management and email setup, which when done incorrectly, it can seriously compromise security and add unwanted costs and headaches further down the line. So for me to be able to keep these packages as affordable as possible, the setup fee is conditional to me managing the hosting of the website for at least 12 months. With this, you not only get all of the security and management of the website handled, but you also get up to 1 hour of edits per month. So I thought I would give you an idea of what the process looks like. We get started with a discovery call. As you can imagine, the discovery call is where I will go through everything in detail with the client about their current setup and digital presence. So whether there is a current website or not will change certain things, but we will discuss also things such as domain, email configuration, any social media accounts they've got for their practice or business, the services that they offer, and any other requirements that they may have. Then we move on to the planning stage. Once the 50% deposit has been paid, within 1 to 3 days, the client will be presented with a blueprint for their website. This blueprint will propose the pages for the website along with the sections within those pages. After having finalized and agreed upon the blueprint of the website, we then move on to the building of the website. So a form is provided to the client for them to provide the required text and images. So it's obvious what's required, how much of it I need, like, a section with this around this many characters and this and that. So I try and keep it as simple as possible. Meanwhile, the website will be developed using stock images and text filler. So until that form's complete, it won't hold anything up. But this stage usually takes 1 to 3 weeks. And it's really is depending upon the client's responsiveness with the necessary content. Once satisfied with the build, we go to the configuring stage. So this is the part of the process where website access is given to the client so that they can become familiar with their website and how to make minor changes to text and images. I also ensure the inquiry forms and booking system has been correctly set up and integrated with the client's Stripe or Zoom account if necessary. Then finally, we have the deployment, the most exciting stage for both myself and the client. The website is live and ready for action. After this stage, there'll be some final training on how to add any services to the booking system or how to make any changes. So over the years, I'm very proud to say that I've never had a dissatisfied customer, at least not from what they've told me anyway. Don't worry, I'm not going to start reading all of these reviews, but I am particularly proud of this one, if you don't mind me reading it in the bottom left. So Shahida said, "We had a fantastic experience working with Christian Panther from the very beginning. He was professional, responsive, and committed to bringing our vision to life. He delivered a beautiful, professionally designed, fully functional website on time and exceeded our expectations in terms of quality and service. Communication was clear throughout the process, and any changes we requested were handled promptly. We highly recommend CJ Pixel to anyone looking for a reliable and skilled development service." So yes, thank you, Shahida, for the lovely review. So it seems only right to share a bit about myself. I'm 33 years old and from Sheffield in the north, though I'm not sure if that counts as north according to Richie. Maybe, I don't know. When I finished uni, I started working in manufacturing for my dad. May he rest in peace. I later met my wife in the jungles of Borneo on a volunteering expedition. After returning to the UK, I decided to quit my job, sell my house and my car, rehome my cats, marry Mariam, become a Muslim, and go travel indefinitely in the search of a new purpose. I've shared more about my story in another presentation, which is on my YouTube channel, if anybody wants to know more. Some of the pictures in this slide show some of my favourite moments over the recent years, such as climbing Machu Picchu Mountain, camping next to an active volcano in Guatemala, which was aptly named Fuego, getting married in Sheffield, and volcano boarding in Nicaragua. For the first few years of traveling, I offered social media management and learned a lot of valuable knowledge on how to increase a social media following organically. Then 4 years ago, I turned my attention to programming. After learning Python, I moved on to web development with a specialism in WordPress. As you can see from this slide, I offer a wide array of services, all geared around improving businesses' online presence. Unfortunately, there isn't enough time today to go into the other services I provide, but I am always happy to discuss these topics in a discovery call, which can be booked through my website, cjpixel.dev. I would have also loved to give a full demo of the booking system, but I've done this in a previous presentation. And as mentioned, you can actually find all of my presentations on my YouTube channel. So if you're curious about how this booking system could work for your business, please go check it out. My channel is called CJ Pixel Development, and its handle is cjpixel.webdev. And the video with the demo is called Building a Therapy Website. Thank you for your time today. I think it's about 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, please feel free to fire away.
Super. Thanks, Christian. If you stop sharing, I'll see if Andrew's got any questions.
There we go.
Hey Christian, it's David. What are what therapists are you helping them? What do they do?
And any kind of therapist. That's why I've kind of left it quite broad of like anyone who treats and anyone who cures. So like hypnotherapists, physiotherapists, psychotherapists, psychiatrists, or anyone in the field of kind of helping people. Don't go into like, don't do it for like kind of the more kind of alternative spiritual kind of stuff, if you know what I mean, like, tarting and things like that. I don't do websites for that kind of stuff, but just the more clinical kind of
Yeah.
practitioner, should I say.
Are they tending are they tending to be like individuals, like like they're consulting for themselves, or are they businesses that you're helping, or is it both?
Both. I find that more often than not, like I'm working with self-employed people, but yeah, like the booking system works really well. The YouTube channel shows how well it can work if you've got a team of employees offering different kind of services, and like
Mm.
they have different schedules, and it works really well with that. And like I say, I go into a lot of detail on that and that presentation. But yeah, no, it's a good question. Thank you.
Cool, thanks.
Richie.
Morning. Yeah, as you know, Sheffield is France to me, so that's kind of where I put you, mate.
Well, might be.
It is, yeah. But obviously, look, you're in a really competitive industry. If you're pitching to somebody and 9 times out of 10 they're going to have you and probably maybe one or two other people who are pitching for the same business, what would you say to sort of differentiate yourself mainly to try and sort of win that business?
Yeah, no, I think it'd just be more kind of personality and commitment and stuff because I find like I said, I really pride myself on trying to have a good relationship with all my clients. So
Mm.
everyone that I've ever worked with on a website, it's a continuous relationship,
Yeah.
and sometimes I might not hear from them for like a year or so, but they know that as soon as they check in, like I'll respond straight away, even if I can't do anything about it for like a few days, or there's quite a few other responsibilities and they've just sprung something up that's not urgent. I'll make sure I always get back to them straight away, and at least they know, when it'll be acted on and stuff. So that's
Yeah.
what I hope shines through more. Is like I say, just if they're not happy, I'm not going to be happy. So I just really try and give them the kind of service that they're looking for.
Yeah. No, you can see that in the reviews as well, mate. And to be honest, I'm exactly the same with that as well. That's exactly how I run in my business, making sure that people are informed, etc. So thank you.
Yeah. No, thanks, Richie.
John.
Yeah, Christian, I wanted to find out when you say you secure their email, what do you mean around securing the email? What are you using separate platforms or is it setting up IMAP or POP type addresses?
For the main part, I just make sure that they're not using the same server as their website, which I find is how I found like a lot of these people when they're first getting set up, they like do it with like Wix or Squarespace, and then obviously like they add their add-ons, and they say, oh, it's free for it, you get free email with your website and stuff, and you know how bad a practice that can be and stuff. So what I'll try and encourage them to do, and I'll help them with it, is getting all their emails off there and getting it onto more of a dedicated email client like Zoho. It depends, obviously, the different providers, like, and the more you pay, kind of, it's not always the better kind of solution. But like for me myself, I want like the kind of zero access encryption on my emails and stuff. So I use Proton Mail, and I know there's other kind of options there, but like if clients just want something which is a better setup, but not going to break the bank, then normally I'd encourage them to go like Zoho Mail, where it's like 12-13 pounds a year for their email address, and at least then that like they've got kind of more of a dedicated service for their emails, and that should hopefully eradicate a lot of the vulnerabilities. But obviously you're in the cybersecurity space as well, so would
Yeah,
always
well, I
be
mean
good to
that's
ask people.
it was potentially a loaded question because
Mm.
there's potentially some options we could look at doing together that might open another revenue stream for you
Yeah, no,
as
that'd be
well,
great.
which is
Yeah, we should have a one-to-one sometime, and that'd be really good to discuss.
Super. Miguel.
So, hi Christian. I saw how you do web development with WordPress, but
Mm.
now with the new release of AI building websites, what do you think of that? Do you think it's gonna affect business somehow, or maybe are you gonna make a switch? Because I do a little bit of it myself. It's easy to integrate chatbots, easy to do all the integrations and everything like that, and I can get a full up and running website within 2 to 3 days. So, what do
Mm.
you think? Do you think it's gonna affect business? Would you adapt to it or not?
I don't think it's like a issue, to be fair, because I think the reason I've chosen WordPress is because it's got such a healthy community. Like I think it powers like I can't remember the stats, like 50 or 60% of the internet, like the WordPress websites. So, as things develop, they've got a community of people who have that kind of foundation as well, who are going to have that interest and they're going to
Of
help
course.
make sure that WordPress doesn't fall massively behind in that kind of way. And I've used some of these AI options as well for the websites before, and I just find that like when people go down those different routes, they often they don't know what they're doing, and when things go wrong because they didn't know what they were doing in the first place, they don't know how to sort it out. So it's this is why I wanted to learn from the base
Yeah.
up. I wanted to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and Python.
Mhm.
And I learned all these things before I even touched WordPress. And then I wanted to learn how to use my own HTML in a WordPress website without using the theme builders. Now, I do use the themes and things
Yeah.
like that to keep it moving quickly, because otherwise, it's a bit overkill. But I wanted to know from the foundation, how do you kind of sort these things out so that later, when it's the longer route, but when you're having issues later, like people don't know, where is the data
It's
for the
more
chatbot
beneficial in the
actually
long
integrated?
term.
Sorry?
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
No, thank you. Cheers.
If I can, if I get 10 seconds on that, I think the use of these AI tools for that, vibe coding, all of the things they're about, are really good to whip up a fast MVP. So minimum viable
Yeah.
product, get a baseline. This is what I want. But if you want it done properly, you still need a human, because there's things that the AI just won't care about or understand, nuances. I think that's where the sell is
Mm.
the human element. But to whip up the framework, or to whip up sort of an idea of what you want, then it saves you days.
Yeah, no, I agree. Cheers, John.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll stop recording. That was a great presentation. Lovely to see it the whole way through.